The winter winds of the high desert howled like wounded spirits across the endless plains as dawn struggled to break through a sky heavy with snow, and in the middle of that cold silence, a lone cowboy named Mason Hale noticed something unusual sprawled near the base of a fallen juniper tree, a shape barely moving, fragile and ghost-pale, as if winter itself had carved a person out of frost. Pushing his horse closer, Mason felt a sharp sting of worry hit his chest when he realized it was a young Apache woman wrapped in nothing but a thin deerskin cloak, her breath weak, her hair frozen against her cheeks, her spirit fighting for life even as the storm tried to claim her. And without a second thought, because a real cowboy never turns away from someone in need, Mason lifted her gently into his arms, feeling how light she was, how her body trembled like a dying flame, whispering reassuring words she couldn't hear as he carried her onto his horse and rode hard for his cabin tucked against a rocky ridge. The wind clawed at them, snow stung their faces, and the silence of the plains made the world feel abandoned. Yet Mason rode faster, driven by a fierce belief that no soul ought to perish alone in the wild. And when he finally reached his wooden cabin, he rushed her inside, laid her near the fire, wrapped her in warm buffalo blankets, and heated water to bring life back into her freezing hands, all while watching her face soften from pain to something gentler, something full of silent endurance, as though she had carried not just the cold but the weight of 1,000 untold stories. For hours, Mason stayed by her side, feeding the fire, warming broth, and whispering that she was safe now, that the storm had no right to take someone who still had hope flickering in her eyes. And when she finally opened them, deep, dark, and filled with the quiet strength of her people, she looked at him with confusion first, then gratitude, small but unmistakable, and she managed to whisper her name. Nayeli, a name that carried the meaning of "I love you" in her tribe's language. Though Mason didn't know that yet, he only knew that the woman in front of him was a survivor, a warrior shaped by the harsh beauty of the West. As the day passed, Nayeli told him broken pieces of her story, how she had become separated from her family during the storm, how she wandered alone with nothing left but her hope that she would find shelter, and how she collapsed when her strength finally gave out. And Mason listened with the soft patience of a man who knew loss, who understood what it meant to stand at the edge of giving up but keep walking anyway. Each hour they spent together warmed more than just her body. It warmed a bond between them, a quiet partnership born not from words, but from the simple truth that saving a life can connect two souls in a way the world rarely understands. And when the sky finally cleared and the sun washed the plains with gold, Nayeli insisted on leaving to search for her people, but Mason refused to let her ride alone, saddling his horse with steady determination and telling her that no one should face a world this big without someone beside them. As they rode across the open land, the snow glittered like broken glass, the air carrying the gentle hum of renewal, and Mason felt something shift in the quiet spaces of his heart, a new purpose, a deeper meaning, a reminder that sometimes the West tests a person not to break them, but to show them what they're capable of. Together, they followed the distant smoke of an Apache winter camp, and when Nayeli was finally reunited with her tribe, the look she gave Mason was filled with a silent promise that their paths were not ending, only changing, shaped forever. By the morning he found her frozen, alone and still holding on to hope. And as Mason rode away, beneath a sky stretching wide and endless, he felt gratitude that life had allowed him to help someone who deserved the warmth of another chance, knowing deep in his chest that kindness is the strongest legacy a cowboy can ever leave behind. And with that, the story of the frozen Apache woman's rescue became another whispered legend carried by the winds of the Wild West, a reminder that in a world as vast and unforgiving as the frontier, hope can still be saved by the heart of a quiet cowboy. Dear viewers, if you believe stories like this should keep living on our channel, then make sure to subscribe. Because the West still has countless legends waiting to be told.